some people just to say hello. We won't call on everybody. We're just going to call on a few. And I might get Bruce to be the first one to choose. Can you see this, Bruce? Is your internet okay?
I can.
Okay, great.
And apologies if my internet is not 100% great, but that's okay. So I'm actually going to call on Peter. Peter, can you hear us? Peter, can you hear us? Yep, I see you, Peter. Peter,
good morning.
Good morning, Peter. So Peter, can you say hello, because I know where you're from, and maybe hello where you're from, and maybe hello where you are, and just introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Peter McKenzie. I'm the country director for the Philippines for the American Bar Association Rule of Law Initiative, and I'm here in Pampanga, in the former Clark Air Base in the Philippines, and I have a group of representatives here from my organization and also from the Integrated Bar of the Philippines. So good morning to everybody, or in the Philippines we would say magandang umaga.
Oh, what we need to do that, Bruce. I think we should try that. Maganda. Say that again, a little slower.
One more time, Peter, in the Philippines in Tagalog. How do we say it?
I think there may be a delay. Okay,
sorry.
Can you say?
I didn't catch that.
We want you just to say good morning or hello in Filipino or in the Philippines, how you say it.
Yes.
That's
but
right.
Slowly,
That's magandang umaga.
Magandang
umaga.
Magandang umaga.
Perfect.
Okay. If you're watching this in your room, please practice this. Your colleagues may look at you a little strange, but it's okay. Trying to say this. Okay. Let me see.
And
who
Peter,
else?
can you pick on someone else?
Yeah.
Pick on someone else, someone you don't know, someone on the screen, and it's more than okay.
Sorry. Let's see. How about let's see, someone I see on the screen. How about Tunwa Diao? I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Let's see if I can find. I think that was Dio.
Hello, I am from
Can you hear? I think there may be a little internet problem there with Dio. Dio, we couldn't hear you very well. Do you want to try again? Otherwise, we can maybe jump to somebody else.
Okay, well, right now in the middle of my screen, I see Vish Chowdhury.
Vish.
Hi, namaste from Delhi. I am with A4ID and the project in South Asia. It's wonderful to see you all. And yeah, all the best for the conference. I'm really excited about attending it and being a part of it. May I request Rob Whitworth? I see you on my screen. Rob, over to you.
Hey, thanks, Vish. Yeah, it's great to see everyone. So yeah, I'm Rob Whitworth. I'm at White & Case here in Singapore. Very much looking forward to participating over the next 3 days. Let me pick on, just in the middle of my screen, Linda Chanthong from Laos. Not sure if we've lost Linda.
some of the Lao participants are getting this in Lao language. So they, yeah.
There may be a delay.
So there may be a delay, but maybe, Rob, try one other person.
No worries, Bruce. Yeah. Prida. I see you in the middle of my screen.
Okay, Prida.
Hello, Swadee Krab. My name is Prida from Lana Lawyer, Thailand. Nice to meet you, everyone.
Hi, Brita. Can you say how to say hello in Thai again so everyone can hear it and practice?
Okay.
Do it slowly. Do it slowly.
สวัสดีสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดี
สวัสดีครับ
Sawadee. Fantastic. All right. So throughout the next few days, we're going to be having good mornings, good afternoons, good evenings virtually, and people probably seeing other people, not just virtually in some places, which is great. So it's really, again, a real pleasure to be here. And again, this is actually 10 years since we've been organizing this conference. The first conference was organized in, who knows where the first conference was organized in what year? Who knows? If you know what year, Sophia, what year and where?
The first conference was in 2012 in Laos.
Absolutely. So everybody, that's great. Okay. And so this is the 10th year of having this conference, although it's the 11th conference. And it's, and I want to bring everybody back. So everybody do this. Let's go back. Everybody, let's go back. Let's go
Maybe
back.
go back this way.
Okay, let's go back, or whichever way is back for you. So, and I can tell you, there's a whole history behind this, and many people know it, and some people don't, but that's okay. And in organizing this conference back in 2012, this was an idea that went around with many different people about, we knew pro bono was going on globally, and we were trying to figure out how to grow it, how to grow pro bono. And one of the ways we decided was, look, if we organize a convening, an event, and get people to it that are doing pro bono, and others that may want to, and then others that have absolutely no idea, that was a way to plant a seed. And at the time, we were talking about this, and at the time, in the planning, I actually was in Washington, D.C. at the Pro Bono Institute, at the PBI. They have an annual conference. If anyone's ever been to the PBI conference, put a thumbs up. If you've been to the PBI conference, put a thumbs up. Because I can tell you they do an annual conference in the United States, and it's a great conference they do every year. All right. So, so at the conference, that was my first time going to a type of pro bono conference. I learned a lot. And one of the things that I picked up was, a lot of how to inspire people to do pro bono. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you a video that I saw in 2012 at the PBI conference. It's a short video. I think it's very inspirational. And everybody, if you have a justice hero behind you, we want you to be thinking about your justice hero, because very soon we're going to be going to your justice hero. Because at the time, we were trying to think about how to grow pro bono, how to motivate people, how to get them involved, how to do all this. And this was one of the first videos that was shown. And I can tell you, while it's not necessarily a legal pro bono, it really strikes and symbolizes the core essence of much of why we do. And with that, and it's called The Unsung Hero. So Wendy, I'm going to pass it over to you into the secretariat. It's about 3 minutes long. And if everybody can watch it, everybody thumbs up. Good. Can you do this? We're all watching. Can I see? We're all watching. Watching and hearing. Thumbs up. Let's show it.
Okay, there may be a delay with some of you. Just bear with it as the internet catches up to all of us. Okay, so don't freak out if you don't see it immediately. It will come. Okay, I'm going to try and share it, and hopefully it'll work perfectly. Okay, hopefully you can see this. I'm going to get a guide from Bruce. Can you see the video? Great. Okay, I'm going to try and play it.
เขาจะได้อะไร ถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวัน เขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลย ไม่ได้รวยขึ้น ไม่ได้ออกทีวี ไม่มีใครรู้จัก ไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้น เพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้ คือได้แค่ความรู้สึก ได้เห็นความสุข ได้เข้าใจ ได้ความรัก ได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิม ในชีวิตคุณ อะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุด
ไทยประกันชีวิต
Okay, and we're back. Sorry to make everybody a bit.
And it's actually not a life insurance commercial, but if you do have life insurance, we strongly suggest you get. So so we started with that, and you know, we thought that this was a really great way to inspire people, and from that, you know, we asked, when you signed up, we asked each of you to choose a justice hero, and most of you now have your justice hero behind you. And what we'd like you to do is we would like to maybe call on a few people to kind of explain why they've chosen their justice hero, and how that connects, you know, to the support of the work you do, and potentially to the support of pro bono. So I'm not going to pick on Wendy because she chose me, and I don't want to do that.
It'd be a bit embarrassing for you.
So, and I'm not going to pick on Tagi either. But Marlon, maybe we could start with you. Can you tell us who your justice hero is?
First, maybe introduce yourself, just in case
Marlon,
people don't know.
introduce yourself, and maybe tell us who the justice hero is and how this kind of connects into justice and potentially to pro bono.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me. And the connection is good. Yes, my name is, my name is Marlon Manuel. I am based in the Philippines, in Manila. I work at Namati, and we convene the Legal Empowerment Network. My justice hero is, if you can see from my background, Apolinario Mabini. He was a leading figure in the Philippine independence struggle against the Spanish colonial authorities in the 1890s. In the 1890s, so a very long time ago. He was a lawyer, and he devoted his a big portion of his life and his work as a lawyer for the Philippine revolutionaries against Spain. So that was a wonderful, creative way of using your knowledge, using your skills as a lawyer for a noble cause. And that was for independence of the Philippines. So we owe a lot of what we have now to justice heroes like Apolinario Mabini.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Back to you, Bruce. Wendy.
And Marlon, I'm just going to jump in here. Can you have a look on the screen and choose somebody else, please? Somebody else with the justice hero in the background. Did we lose Marlon?
Nope.
Yes. Wait. Some. I don't see justice heroes of some. I saw Jar. Oh wait. Okay. The screen is moving. How about Saroj? I see Saroj. Give me from Nepal. Saroj, over to you.
Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Bruce and Wendy. Welcome to all the delegates on this 11th Asia Pro Bono Conference. Though we plan to be present, but we are conducting virtually. But luckily, I have made my travel to Laos. Regarding to my justice hero, I have chosen my father as my justice hero. And the reason for choosing my father is that my father is he is a practitioner lawyer in Nepal, and he had a very he was from a very I mean, his grown up was quite critical during his elder age, young age, and he suffered many kind of legal issues into the family. So that encouraged him to study law, and he became a lawyer. And from my childhood, I have been growing up into the legal family, where he taught me to be social engineer. They work for the poor, and provide the social services into this one, provide the legal assistance. And now I consider myself as one of the leading lawyer for providing pro bono, and it's all the credit goes to my dad, and who is watching me from Kathmandu, and he is so happy that I am really fulfilling his dream into the legal service. So my justice here is my father.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful, Saroj. Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's just magnificent. Saroj, can you pick someone else who's got a justice hero?
Well, I think I'll go to Karina Ramos. Ramos.
You're on mute.
Hello. Good morning.
Karina, if other people are in the room with you, you're going to get feedback. They need to mute themselves. If you're sitting with other people that are listening, they need to mute themselves.
Hello.
We hear you.
Okay, Karina, you're still you're muted now.
You're muted now.
We'll try again. If not, we may have to have you.
Karina,
type
can
it.
you, is it, I don't sure if it's pronounced Karina or Charina, but maybe you could just put it into the chat. Put it
Yeah.
into the chat who your Justice Hero is and why. And maybe we'll ask, I want to ask Manuel Joseph Ibanez,
Hello.
who your Justice Hero is.
Hello. Hello. Can you actually hear me?
Yay! Yes.
Yes,
And now,
we
go
can.
for it. Yes. Okay.
Now we can't hear you.
So my Justice Hero is DPA because she's our VP and she helped a lot of people without needing anything, and she has instrumental help to a lot of Filipinos, the marginalized. So I think that's
Okay. I got a little bit of that, but is it Karina or Charina? I'm not sure. Okay, great. Can you, because the internet is a little spotty, can you just type just briefly what you just said into the chat so then we can read it? But thank you. Okay, maybe Bruce, we may need to choose somebody else because of the internet. So let
Okay.
me- Mhm.
I think we can. I think, so I was going to choose Manuel Joseph Ibanez.
Right.
I want to choose you because you seem to be sitting next to your Justice Hero on my screen, which is really. So Manuel, can you tell us?
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Here, can everybody hear me?
Perfectly.
Hello, good morning. I'm actually in the same room as Pete and Charina. But yes, my Justice Hero personally is the president, the national president of the IBP, who is also coincidentally here, Bert M. Estrada. Because of having worked with him over the last several years, over a series of projects relating to improving the legal profession as well as providing legal assistance, I can't help but be inspired by his being genuine and being very proactive in doing all these things when we could have just simply sat down and served out our term because of the pandemic. So with that in mind, I chose him when I saw him as an option as a Justice Hero.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And now he's smiling, which is good. So, and maybe can I actually pass this over to Pavina?
Mhm.
Pavina, who's your Justice Hero?
Everyone, everybody from Laos. My name is Pavina. My Justice Hero is Steve Nwansiwo. This is the reason I choose Steve. Actually, I have a lot of Justice Hero. However, I choose Steve for the opening because he is the first person who introduced me to the word pro bono because of the Asia conference that started to hold in Vientiane capital back in 2012, and I'm one of the students doing volunteers at the conference that time. Thank you.
So Pa, at the first conference in 2012, you were a law student, huh?
Correct.
Actually, I think we have to.
Yeah.
I think we have to mute the interpreters. I think the interpreters may be just to let them know. I think they need to go on the mute channel because we're hearing them. But all good. Yeah. And
Okay.
Tip and Pa, are you still a law student? 10 years later?
I hope not. Or maybe yeah. I think you always are a law student, yeah?
I think I'm always a student, learning from everyone throughout the groups, different lawyers and colleagues in the law sectors. Right now, I'm a lawyer. I have a lawyer license now and continue supporting pro bonos, whether through my That's my recent established law firm, local law firm in Laos, and also as a PepsiCo Lao country managers, implementing synergies. So during working
So thanks, Pat.
hours or also after.
So, okay, so everyone, I want to now take us back again a little bit. So everybody, let's do this again. Let's go back. I want to go back. I want to go back. I want to go back to maybe 11 years. So everybody, let's go back. We're going back. So when we talked about the idea of, you know, kind of coming up with an idea to grow pro bono and how to do this, you know, I've been a lawyer since 1991, so 31 years. I was also a legal aid lawyer. I did legal aid, and I in addition to legal aid, I did pro bono. So I was a legal aid lawyer, and I also did pro bono. And I think over the next 3 days, we're going to talk about how they're not the same thing. They support each other, but they're not the same thing. And they really greatly support each other. And we kept thinking about ways to inspire people to do pro bono. And at the same time, we knew pro bono was going on around the world. Many people would say, oh, Bruce, you're an American, pro bono's an American thing. And I would say, no, that's not true at all. Actually, all over the world, people in the legal sector do pro bono. Not just lawyers, but all over the world, people do pro bono. They may not call it pro bono, but they're doing it. And at the same time, we started talking to people about how do we grow these seeds? How do we take somebody like Pa in 2012, give her a justice hero, and 10 years later, she's a lawyer and she's doing pro bono, you know, how do we do that? And we had all these ideas. And at the same time, we had, as Wendy from Australia, and if you're Australian, you'll understand this, we had what we call knockers. So everybody do this. Everybody do this. Everybody
if you're
do
the UK,
this.
I apologize, but Australians
We had
will
knockers,
understand.
okay? We had knockers, and people telling us, and people would say to us, they said, hey, you know, you gotta pay people. You gotta incentivize them. And we would say, no. Legal aid, legal service providers, they can get paid. They can get a salary. They may not get much, but they can get paid. But we don't pay people to do pro bono. It's a different thing. It's a different thing. And we would say to people, look, if you pay them, you're going to kill it. You're going to kill that value. Everybody touch your heart. Everybody touch your heart. Everybody touch your heart. Great. You'll kill it. So get away from the idea that you have to pay people and you have to incentivize them, because if you explain what pro bono is and how they can be these heroes, people will do it. And at the same conference in 2012 at the Pro Bono Institute conference, they showed us a video about how incentivizing, how paying people kills that value. And so what I want to do now is we're going to show you this video to explain to you that people do legal aid, you can pay them, great, but pro bono, you go to that value of having them do it, because that's what we do. So with that, everybody, can you watch? Everybody do this? And everybody do this? It's a few-minute video, and it's going to show you a test that was done with monkeys and about incentivizing. And if you actually maybe pay one and you don't pay the other, what happens? And with that, let's pass this over.
Okay.
So a final experiment that I want to mention to you is our fairness study. And so this became a very famous study, and there's now many more, because after we did this about 10 years ago, it became very well known. And we did that originally with capuchin monkeys, and I'm going to show you the first experiment that we did. It has now been done with dogs and with birds and with chimpanzees, but with Sarah Brosnan we started out with capuchin monkeys. So what we did is we put two capuchin monkeys side by side. Again, these animals, they live in a group, they know each other. We take them out of the group, put them in a test chamber. And there's a very simple task that they need to do. And if you give both of them cucumber for the task, the two monkeys side by side, they're perfectly willing to do this 25 times in a row. So cucumber, even though it's really only water in my opinion, but cucumber is perfectly fine for them. Now, if you give the partner grapes, the food preferences of my capuchin monkeys correspond exactly with the prices in the supermarket. And so if you give them grapes, that's a far better food, then you create inequity between them. So that's the experiment we did. Recently, we videotaped it with new monkeys who had never done the task, thinking that maybe they would have a stronger reaction, and that turned out to be right. The one on the left is the monkey who gets cucumber. The one on the right is the one who gets grapes. The one who gets cucumber, note that the first piece of cucumber is perfectly fine. The first piece she eats. Then she sees the other one getting grape, and you will see what happens. So she gives a rock to us, that's the task. And we give her a piece of cucumber, and she eats it. The other one needs to give a rock to us. And that's what she does. And she gets a grape. And she eats it. The other one sees that. She gives a rock to us now, gets again cucumber. She tests the rock now against the wall. She needs to give it to us. And she gets cucumber again. So this is basically the Wall Street protest that you see here.
Okay. I hope that came through okay.
So what we have here is we show that, you know, great. Look, I've been a lawyer 31 years and a legal service provider. Because remember, we're not just talking about lawyers. When we talk about pro bono, legal service providers, paralegals, students, others, many people do it. And I'm happy to make money. I'm happy to make money. I'm happy to have a family. I'm happy. And when I was a legal aid lawyer, I was happy to get paid, not much, but but at the same time, there's this value of we're doing pro bono. And as we see, we inspire people through the values, but not through the incentives of money, but the incentives of we go back to that unsung hero of this is what we do. And values have been, in the last 10 years, values have been a real guiding principle. And in 2019, many of us gathered in Nepal. So if you were in Nepal at the pro bono conference in Nepal, put a thumbs up or put your hands up. If you were at the pro bono conference in Nepal, put a thumbs up or a hands up or a clap. If you were at the pro bono conference in Nepal, put a thumbs up or hands up or just wave or do this. Okay. And at this conference, many of us came together after gathering for years, and we put together a declaration, an Asia Pro Bono Conference declaration that really symbolized our values. And we said that if we stick to these values, we will continue to grow pro bono and stuff. So, but prior to that, as we said, and Sophia said, we first started in Laos. So before we went to Nepal, we came up with these values. We started in Laos, and we started with not a lot of countries, a lot of people, but not a lot of countries. And then we continued to grow these values and to grow these values. So we started in Laos, and where did we go after Laos? Who knows where we went after Laos? What country did we go to after Laos?
Pop it in the chat. Maybe
pop it in the chat. If you know what was the second country we went to after Laos, where did we go?
2013.
Vietnam. Great. I know, we went to Vietnam. Okay,
Vietnam.
that was number 2. Okay, number 3. Everybody put up 3 fingers. 3 fingers. What was the third country we went to? Third country we went to. And we're going to get back to the values, I promise. Okay, great. We went to Singapore. Great. Fourth country we went to. Fourth country we went to. What was 4? 4 fingers. Everybody 4 fingers up. We went to Myanmar. Right.
Mingalaba.
Okay,
Yes.
Mingalaba. Fantastic. 5th country, 5 fingers up. Everybody 5 fingers up.
tricky now.
What was the 5th country? I'll give you a hint. It can't be.
Yay, Tip. Good job.
Okay, Indonesia.
Went to Indonesia.
Fantastic. The 6th country, 6 fingers up, 6 fingers up. Where did we go? We didn't go back to Laos. We went to Malaysia. Fantastic. We went to Malaysia. Great. The 7th, not necessarily a country. That's a hint. Not necessarily a country after Malaysia. I'll give you a hint. It's more of a territory, or sort of.
Yep. Hong Kong. Perfect.
After
Good
Malaysia,
job.
7? Great. And after Hong Kong, we went to Nepal. After Hong Kong, we went to Nepal. And in Nepal, we came up with these values. And with these values, we came together and we agreed. We agreed that going forward, these values would guide us. And what I would like to do now is I'd like to put up these values. So everybody wants more. Touch your heart. Touch your heart. Okay, everybody, touch your heart. And if we can have the first, the opening of the declaration, and then I'm just going to call on somebody to read it. Okay. So if we can get this posted.
Can you see that?
All right, there is. So Marlon, since you're there, and I know we've called on you before, but there's Marlon at the conference. So if we can go to the first opening, maybe Marlon could read it.
Okay.
Okay, sure. We, the Asia Pro Bono Consortium, at this successful conclusion of the 8th Asia Pro Bono Conference, based on the collective shared knowledge and experiences over the past 3 days, recognize that access to justice for all is essential to liberty, fairness, dignity, progress, development, and the rule of law. Based upon this recognition, the consortium declares the following.
Okay, so let's get the next up. Now, these are the values. Okay, number 1. Does anybody want to read number 1? Otherwise, I'll call on you. But if you want to volunteer to read number 1, that would be great. Who wants to volunteer to read number 1?
I can read number 1, Bruce.
Okay, great.
Number 1, the strengthening and expanding of pro bono services and systems are essential in achieving access to justice for all and to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals.
Wonderful. All right, let's everybody, we agree with that. If you agree with that, let's put a thumbs up. If you agree with that, everybody, let's put a thumbs up. Okay, let's go to the second value. Okay, the second value. So who wants to read the second value?
I can take that, Bruce.
Fantastic.
The second value is the definition of pro bono legal services should be wide in scope and practice.
Fantastic. Let's go to, everybody agree, thumbs up. Third value. Who's taking on the third value?
I could do that, Bruce.
Go for it.
Number 3, there should be broad-based support and responsibility for the providing of pro bono services coming from a variety of sectors, including the government, judicial, legal, private, academic, and civil society to benefit poor, underprivileged, or marginalized persons or communities, or the organizations that assist them.
Fantastic. Everybody thumbs up, we agree? Great. Fourth value. Fourth value. Who's taking this on?
I can, Bruce. Miriam here.
Miriam, over to you.
Perfect.
pro bono policy should be developed to create the conditions and incentives so that pro bono work is encouraged, valued, and rewarded, and to pursue or provide continuing legal education in this field, as pro bono service is closely linked to corporate social responsibility of the legal profession.
Fantastic. All right, policies. Absolutely. Thumbs up. Thumbs up to the idea of policies. Great. Let's go to the next value. Okay, who's taking this one on?
Again, Bruce.
Go for it.
Efforts should be made to ensure that pro bono and legal aid systems work in supporting harmony.
Fantastic. And I'm going to tell you that tomorrow we're going to have a plenary session tomorrow in the afternoon talking about how pro bono and legal aid, not the same thing, but how they work together. Everybody bring your hands together. Everybody bring your hands together like this and do this. Bring it together and do this. They support each other and they work in harmony. Not the same thing, but they thumbs up to that value. Okay, next value. Who's taking on this one?
First, I can take this one.
Go for it.
Yes. Number 6, pro bono practice and system should be further strengthened in both the formal and non-formal justice sectors.
Absolutely. And that's really important because, you know, coming from a country like the US, often people think of this formal justice sector. But when we look globally around the world, we realize that there's so many non-formal justice sectors, and pro bono systems help to strengthen both. Okay, fantastic. All right, thumbs up, everyone. Good. All right, next. Who's taking this one on? I'll tell you what, I think maybe I'm going to take this on, especially after, you know, this past week in such a good way. So the responsibility to strengthen and expand pro bono and the impact and scale of the Asia Pro Bono Conference through this annual yearly convening of the conference belongs to all the consortium members. Everybody point to yourself. Everybody point to yourself. Okay, point to yourself and the participants of the conference. As the conference belongs to all the participants and it's all of our responsibility. And I can tell you that every year this is proven to be true, that we see more and more people. All you have to do is go to the Justice Heroes section and see how many Justice Heroes there are, because every year more people bring on Justice Heroes and come into this fold. And that is just absolutely important. Let's go to the next, okay? All right, who wants this? Who's taking this?
So let me try.
Go for it.
Declarations, events, divisions after Asia.
Bruce, can you hear me? Hello.
So let me try. Yeah. Honor to predictions, the meaning and importance of pro bono service, identify and degree of the best practice in desirable specifics, commitment of time and resources to depend and consents and make further progress in
Fantastic. Okay, so, and then the next slide. And that's all of us.
That's it, yeah.
That's it. Everybody point back to yourself and give yourself a thumbs up. Point back to yourself and give yourself a thumbs up. Okay. And that's where this has come from. Okay. So once again, let's do this. We're going to go back. We're going to go back. So everybody, let's take us back. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to show us back in 2012, 10 years back. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you a very, very quick, short video of where we were in 2012 and where we are 10 years later about people, countries, and everything else to show everybody do this. Everybody do this. I want to see the seeds coming up. I want to see the seeds coming up. So if we can show the video of where we were in 2012, where we started, and where we are in 2022, that would be great to show how these seeds and these values have taken on.
Cute.
So we see where we started in 2012, and now we're in 2022. And as we said, over 53 countries around the world, spreading seeds, planting seeds, spreading values, and really coming together. And that's what we're going to be doing over the next 3 days. So, and what I'd like to do now is I want to hear from a few people that will be presenting over the next few days on this amazing conference agenda. So I'm going to call on a few people just to tell them, what session maybe they may be organizing, and to maybe in 1 minute, just tell us when it is and tell us a little bit about that. And with that, I'm going to start with Miriam Chinapa. Okay, so Miriam, over to you. Tell us who you are, what session you're doing, what it's about, and when it's meeting.
Oh, we have a really funky video. We should just share that. Chi, do you have that? No, anyway. So my name is Miriam Chinapa, and I'm the country director of International Bridges to Justice, which is a large criminal justice program in Myanmar. We are very happy to, my team and myself, we'll be having this workshop on setting up communities of practice. This is something that we have seen has worked wonderfully in Myanmar, especially with the dual crisis of the coup as well as the COVID. And we want to share that experience so that when we're working in very remote places or rural places, that we're able to know how to set up the community of practice for pro bono lawyering and sustain it. That's the most important. So please join us. It's on Sunday at 1:30.
Wonderful. Fantastic. Everybody, let's give a clap to Miriam. Okay. So next person, Yasu Nobu. Yasu, can you tell us who you are, if you can hear us, Yasu, and what session you're doing and what it's about? Yasu, can you hear us? Maybe I'm going to pass it over to Tangi Lim. Tangi, can you hear us and tell us about who you are, what session, what it's about, and when it takes place?
Yeah, thanks, Bruce, and great to see everyone, although online as well. So my name is Tongi. I'm with the Singapore Bar Association charity called Law Society Pro Bono Services, and we're basically set up to support lawyers doing good in the community.
Hello,
as well.
yes. I organize actually business and human rights session Asia, because we share this new paradigm for soft law. I'm promoting this kind of soft law because now the gap of the nation states system. So I invite all the Asian friends and colleagues to work in the practice in the field and all the. Yeah. Can you hear?
Perfectly.
No. Oh my God.
No, we heard you.
We can.
We
And
heard
Yasu,
you.
when is your session? When is your session? It's on business and human rights and the connection in pro bono. When will that be?
No, it's muted. Demuted.
Probably makes sense to log in.
I think we lost him. Maybe we go back over to Tanguy. Tanguy, when is your session?
So my session is this Sunday, along with Sarge Gimri from Nepal and Mark Woods from Australia. And we'll be giving...
okay, some kind of a time lag, I think. My session is tomorrow, 1:30 to 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Yes. So.
Okay, so yours is in the afternoon, and Tanguy, your session is on Sunday?
Sunday at 8:30. So it's a plenary, and we're talking about how Bar Association can support lawyers doing pro bono, in their respective countries. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, Vish, tell us about your session.
Thanks very much, Bruce. It's so wonderful to hear about all these sessions that sound really promising. My session, well, one is a roundtable, which is co-organized with the consortium members, which is happening, make note everybody, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. The second session that A4ID is also coordinating is on limiting death penalty using pro bono, and that will be on Sunday at 1:30 p.m. local time. And I'll be speaking at another session, which is organized with Trust Law on the role of clearinghouses. So these three sessions are there, one happening tomorrow at 8:30, the other one on Sunday at 1:30. So I look forward to interacting with all of you in due course. Thanks.
Great. And Gabby, can you hear us? Gabby, can you tell us who you are, what your session's about, and when is it?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Gabby Christian here from the Australian Pro Bono Centre. It's fantastic to be here with you all. So my session is with Bruce, Marlon, and Samantha coming up next. And it's all about what is pro bono, why we should do pro bono, and perhaps rather controversially, should it be mandatory? Thanks, Bruce.
Fantastic. All right. Is there anyone else here who would like to tell us about Michael? You have a session coming up. Yeah, Michael. I don't know.
Bruce, if you don't mind, I can
Aaron,
do that.
Aaron, over to you. Aaron,
Thank
fantastic.
you so much.
Introduce yourself and tell us about your session.
Hi, everyone. This is Aaron Chen from Dairy Piper. So we have two sections in this conference. One moral about affordable law firm, and that is I think it's at 10 o'clock tomorrow, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. And also we have a session on Sunday that I will do it with Michael on the practical skills and ethical skills course that we have been providing to students in the APAC region. So please come and join us. So Bruce, back to you.
Perfect.
Fantastic. So wonderful. So as we see, all you have to do is look at the agenda, both for this, and then you're going to see we have a whole virtual access to justice exchange in a few days after this, which has some of the same sessions, although they may be slightly different, and many, many others. In the Pro Bono conference, every session has a connection to pro bono. Every session has a connection to pro bono. The access to justice exchange, they may not. It may be about other areas related to access to justice and rule of law. It may connect to pro bono, but it doesn't necessarily have to. But we can tell you that these are the things that really work. You're here to share, you're here to learn, you're here to be open. None of us are here to knock people. We are not here to knock people. We are here to come together in solidarity. This is not a political conference. We are respectful to each other. We listen to each other, and we grow together. We grow together. And as we said, you know, one of the values of this conference has been that this conference has never been perfect. And I say this almost every year. This conference has never been perfect, and that's what makes it perfect, because it's never been perfect. And that's what life is. And anyone who does this type of work, you know, it is never perfect, but we just keep going forward. So with that, I think we go to the last part of this, where I think we announce the official conference opening. Wendy, are we able? I think we have a video to announce the official conference opening.
Well, it's kind of after we announce it, kind of thing. You know, it's kind of like at the end, just giving you a heads up. He hasn't seen it. I think that's why. And I just want to actually, can I just point out something? So there are a group of people who are in the ballroom in Laos at the moment, who've traveled, and they're watching this live streamed through YouTube. There is a delay. So if they're listening, they're watching the delayed of what we're all doing in real time. So so just be mindful of that in some of the sessions. If it looks like what happened with with some of our colleagues, that they may be sitting there, but if they have their computer and their headsets and everything, and they're doing it like what I think everybody else is doing, then there's no delay. There's a tiny delay. So just to be aware of that as we go forward.
Great. And over the next 3 days, we'll work out some of these IT things as we will. It will get easier. We look forward to seeing so many of you virtually, and a lot of you, you know, in person on tourist trips and other things that you are. And with that, I think, can we all give it a big thumbs up again? And can we all do this? We're going to open. Let's open. Everybody, we're opening. We're opening the 11th Asia Pro Bono Conference. And with that, we're sharing it.
Okay, that was it. We thought we would do something loud and crazy at the beginning.
So with everybody, and again, some of the sessions will adjust. The next session will be on at all times we're talking about are in ICT, Indo-China time, which is really, I hate using that expression, but I will, ICT, which is Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam time. The next session will start at 10:30. It's a really important session on really what is pro bono. It's a fundamental session. Even if you think you know what pro bono is, I strongly suggest you attend, because, you know, when we're growing these seeds, we're trying to explain to others what it is, and often what it isn't, what it is and what it isn't. And so we'll be really honored to have this session coming up in an hour from now. If you are around with others, go have refreshments, take breaks, do what you're doing, and we look forward to seeing.
I'm just going to interrupt you. I've had a couple of requests. It's a bit of a tradition that we do in the opening. We show our flags from the other countries. And although we did the little flag ceremony, there's a very special request that's coming through on the chats, just to me at this point. So what we would like to do is, if you can either quickly draw your flag, if you have a piece of paper and a pen, and then show it, that would be great. If you cannot, if you can go online and find a lovely graphic of the flag that you identify with, the flag from your country or where you're currently living, the flag that you would like to say, and then put it up as your background just for this. If you can quickly do that. Sorry to interrupt you, Bruce. just like what Bruce has done.
And
So
I
you
think
can
that's
do
what
that.
Wendy's asking everybody to do, either to draw a flag or just put it behind you so we get your different countries. Okay, so take about 2 minutes.
Okay, we got some people. Hey, that's great. We may have to move a little so we can see. How about your pics? Okay, if you've got your flag up, perfect. Oh, that's kind of fun, yeah, as you go through. Find a picture of your country and then put it as your background. Perfect, perfect. It's fun when you scroll through, you see people that are in the same country, but obviously not in the same room. Nice one, Nicole. I just saw you holding it up. Okay, wonderful.
Okay, wonderful. And
Mhm.
I think we had just a couple of questions. Some people were asking about food and gatherings. If you're actually in Laos, we could talk to you about, there are, if you've come in from outside the country, there's some people are having some informal, nothing formal, some informal gatherings, and we'll just let you know about that if you come in from outside of Laos and you're actually on as a tourist and enjoying the Lao culture and hospitality. So with that, we look forward to seeing everybody in about an hour from now and more. And everybody, thank you for being here, and thank you for keeping calm and doing pro bono. Everybody, thumbs up. See you
See you all
soon.
soon.
Sorry, before you go, are we gonna share this is the magic word? So please have it if you want the certificate. We're gonna send the certificate link through your email. So this is the magic word for this session.
Why do you have 3 flags?
inside it from